Let's learn something. So, what's the big idea of the book of Genesis? Well, Genesis is the first book of the Old Testament. The Bible is broken up into two different testaments, the Old and the New Testament. Testament is basically just a fancy word for covenant. And we'll see the covenant is a big thing in the Old Testament and even the New. But in the Old Testament, God uses these covenants to establish a relationship with His people. You'll see in Genesis 3 that sin broke the perfect peace we had with God and humanity. And instead of receiving the blessings for a lifetime, we now are burdened with this curse of sin. But God establishes a plan of redemption and blessings through some of these covenants. You'll see it first with Abraham, then with Isaac, and with Jacob. These promises and these covenants apply to the Israelites in Egypt and also to later generations. So to summarize, Genesis kind of sets the stage for a redemption plan that God had the entire time throughout the Bible for Jesus to die on the cross and be resurrected for our sins to break all of the sinful curse that we are burdened with. Genesis is also where you'll find a majority of your popular Bible stories. Now we're going to move on to the animal section of this. We're going to be talking about the whitetail deer. The name is pretty obvious if you've ever seen one run away from you. They tend to raise their tail when in danger or running, and it's like seeing a white flag. Their habitat, they range a majority in the United States, even down into Mexico slightly, and even up into Canada. So the life cycle, breeding typically begins in early fall and continues in the winter, with November, December being the most common. Around here in Florida in the Panhandle, it's typically a little later in the year, January, February commonly. So to begin the breeding process, a buck will make a paw place by licking the overhanging branches, and sometimes he'll even pee in it. Then a doe will come around later and she'll leave her scent there. Once the buck finds a doe, he'll chase her around for anywhere between days and weeks until she's ready to breed. The average lifespan of a whitetail deer is typically about 10 years. Some have lived to be up to 20 in captivity, and around where I'm from, they typically don't last between 3 and 4 years. A female typically has between 1 and 2 fawns, but they have been known to have more. The first couple of weeks, the fawns lie hidden in the brush with the mother coming by about every 4 hours to feed and check on it. Bucks typically lose their antlers early in the year, February or March most likely. Then they will regrow them during the summer months. And deer are excellent to eat. All right, for our financial portion today, we're going to talk about the stock market. The stock market is essentially a way for people to invest in companies and make money. When a company decides to go public, they offer up a certain amount of shares of their stock. This allows common people to buy into that company and to make money as the company makes money. You can also lose money if the company loses money. An effective stock market is almost a critical thing for a functioning economy. A stock market also gives the company the ability to raise capital. If they're offering all these shares of these companies and all these outside investors are buying in, that company is able to raise their value and have more money to put into other aspects and grow their company. I personally love the stock market. It's a great way for you to be able to have your money work for you and not work for your money all the time. It's good to have several different pools of financial ways to make money, and the stock market is a good way to do that. Now, there is tremendous risk with the stock market, but don't let that be your determining factor if you're going to invest or not. There's always risk with every single thing in life, but the stock market is a great way to grow your portfolio and to make a lot of money. It's also one of the fastest ways to make money. So today, for our history spotlight, we're going to be talking about Emperor Constantine. During his reign, the Roman Empire was weakening, but the Christian church had been gaining more authority. Constantine, who ruled from about 312 to 337 CE, converted and became the first Christian emperor. He declared freedom of worship across the empire in his Edict of Milan, ending the persecution. He built churches of worship. Constantine moved the capital of the Roman Empire to whatever that name is, and it's now called Turkey. But he called this the New Rome. This city was in a very strategic location and provided protection from the eastern frontier of the empire. And the last thing we have is an inspiring quote from Winston Churchill. It says, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." Y'all have a good day. Hope you learned something.